Hi, and welcome to this video, How do I customize word layout in Microsoft NAV 2015 Advanced Formatting. My name is Klaus Nordström, MVP for Microsoft Dynamics NAV. This video was made in collaboration with Platan and Microsoft. At the end of this video, we will have seen how easy it is in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015 to add fields which already exist in a dataset to a custom word layout report. The objective of this video is to show you how to use the XML mapping pane to add an existing field from the dataset to the report in Word. Also, we will see how it is possible to export and import the word layout. As word layouts often use hidden table structures to align content controls, such as field mappings, enabling grid lines in Word is quite useful to understand the structure. We will see that all fields in the Sales Invoice Report 1306 word layout are all arranged in tables for easy alignment in Word. To insert existing fields from the report dataset in Word layout, we need to take advantage of the custom XML mapping feature in Word. This feature is available in the Developer tab in Word, which is hidden by default, so we need to enable it. We will see how to add fields from the XML mapping pane. Step number 1. Export layout. First, we will use the import layout and export layout instead of the edit layout. You will do this when using the Microsoft Dynamics NAV web client, where direct editing is not supported. We will open up the custom report layouts page. We will copy existing custom report layout based on the Sales Invoice Report 1306, and then we will export the custom report layout. So we're now in NAV 2015, and we first need to go to the report layout selection page. So we search for this, and it's here, report layout selection page. And we want to filter on the report 1306, the new sales invoice report, which contains both the Word and the RDC layout. We want to go to the custom layouts. As we could see in a previous video, we did this layout here. So what I want to do now, I want to copy this. So I'll make a copy of this. And now this is my advanced layout. So I will remove the copy and I'll say my layout. And then just in the bottom here, I'll say advanced. Now I will go and export the layout. So I will export the layout here and I will say save. I'm going to save this to my desktop. So yes. Step number 2, enable grid lines in Word. So now we're going to enable the grid lines in Word. First, we're going to open up the custom Word layouts. In Word, we're going to select the layout tab, and then we're going to select the view grid lines, so it's easier for us to see and understand the structure of the report. So we'll now open up the file, the layout that we have exported here. I will open up this in Word. I can see my report, how it looks. And what I want to do now is I want to enable the grid lines so I have a better understanding of the structure of the report. So I need to click here, for example, and then I get the table tools active. And now in the layout of the table tools, I have the grid lines that I can enable. And now I see the grid lines and I have a better understanding of the structure of my report. Step number 3, enable the Developer tab. To enable the Developer tab, we need to right-click the ribbon in the Word, and then we need to select Customize this ribbon. In the right pane, we will select the Developer checkbox and then choose OK. The Developer tab is now visible in Word, and we can use this to get to the XML mapping pane. So back in Word, we now have to go and customize the ribbon. So I'm up here in the layout, and I click the button here, right-click, and then I customize the ribbon. And when I get the customized ribbon up here, I get there's a lot of Word options here, and then in the right part of the screen here, I have the Developer tab. This is not something that is a default selected, so I will select it now so I can get to my XML mapping pane. So now Developer tab is active, and I can see that it now comes up here, and now I can choose my XML mapping pane, and in here I then have the available to add fields to my report. Step number 4, adding new existing field from dataset. We will expand the XML mapping pane. We will right-click on a field name. In this case, we will use the shipment date caption. And to add the field, we will need to right-click and select Insert, Content Control, and then choose Plain Text. We will repeat this for the shipment date value. So back in Word, we can now see the XML mapping pane to the right, and we can see there's a custom XML part selected. This is not the XML part that we're going to be using. So notice that when I drop down here, there's a several that I can choose. The one I want to use here is a URN Microsoft Dynamics NAV Reports Mini Sales Invoice 1306. So that's my report, that's where my dataset is. So I will click here and I will open up the NAV Word XML Report XML part, and I open up the header and I can start seeing all my fields here. So let me find the shipment date that I want to add to my report. So I have my shipment date here, and I have my shipment date label here. So I need to first decide where I want to have this placed in my report, and I want to place it here in this blank field here. So I have marked my cursor, and it's now active down here. And what I'll do is I will click the shipment date, right click it, and insert control in plain text. Now the shipment date has been added here, and the caption, and now I want to have the value as well. So I will click in this text box here, and I'll go to the shipment date, and I'll insert control, and I'll hit or I will click the plain text, and now that's in. And if we want to play a little bit, we can also go and look at how the background color is. So I'll go to the shading here, and I'll take the orange color here, for example, and say okay, and now I made my changes. So we are now step number 5, the import layout. So we have added a new existing field from the dataset in the Word, and we'll be using the XML mapping pane. We want now to import the layout into NAV 2009, and we want to print the report and see how it looks. So back in Word, what we'll do now is that we will save our changes. So I'll close down the document. So save it. And then what I want to do now is I want to import the changes that I've done over in Word. So I will select the import layout. I'm not using the edit layout, remember that. So now I'm just going to import what I have. And now I have this laying here, the default docx. So let's click this and open. And now I have done my changes. And before we make this report the active one, we want to run the report and verify that this is actually the one that's it's working, and the changes that we have done is working. So let's open this in PDF, and let's see that we have the shipment date here. That's working exactly the way we wanted it. So we added the field from the data set. If we want to go and make this report the active one, we can say OK to this one, and then we can go to the report layout selection page. And in here we now have the custom layout already selected, but we have our old layout selected that we did before in a previous video. Now let's go and add my layout, the advanced one, and say OK to this. And now it's the advanced one that we'll be using. And if I say OK to this, and if I go to my posted documents, and I want to run this report, for example, here, and go print, and then I go print to the PDF, I will see that I now have my shipment date here. So this is the new report that I have in my system that's active. So to summarize, we first created a copy of an existing custom report layout to illustrate that we can have multiple layouts for each report. We then enabled the grid lines in Word, so it's easier for us to understand the structure of the custom Word layout. We then enabled the Developer tab, so we could see and use the XML mapping pane to add existing fields in the dataset to our report layout. We use the Insert Content Control and Plain Text when adding fields to the layout from the XML mapping pane. And finally, we imported back the changes to NAV 2005 and printed the report. I hope you enjoyed this How Do I video. I'm Claus Lundström, MVP for Microsoft Dynamics NAV. Thanks for watching.